Hello and welcome to part 18 of our Dominion 6 playthrough as middle-aged Nidavangr. So, in the last episode we'd had a little bit of stuff to do, we're taking out some thrones, we're moving up towards Eiru, things overall are going pretty well. This throne that we've managed to take in the first forest is the throne of the first age, and that's going to increase the magic inside this province, give us a bunch of Dominion spread and some ascension points and some magic resistance. Certainly nothing to sniff at, and it will be very useful for keeping Asphodel's Dominion outside of ours. Otherwise, things going pretty well. We're currently trying to claim the Throne of the Moon, which we've done with our pretender, Bone Meal Bathwater himself. He has come out of hiding, and he's here to take that throne. In the front over by Eiru, we've kind of reached an impasse. We need to either move through this throne province, which does put us in striking range of their capital, which is very, very nice. Otherwise, we will need to wait until winter in order to get past these river crossings. Now we could do that by building temples, which is a potential option, or we can just try and get through into Lowmark. The issue here is we did see a previous battle that happened with Eiru where they lost their pretender. If possible, we'd prefer that didn't happen. It does also have a Lenormand there who could be a bit of an issue with his poison damage. I think we'll need a considerable force as well as a bunch of gems and such to take it. In order to do that, we're going to get these guys to both patrol and search, but we're going to get two of our guys to build ourselves a lab and a temple. The reason for this is we want to get a lab and a temple up here so we can start to outfit ourselves with gems, just so we're ready to march onto the throne. And you know what, we'll build a scout. We might as well just to send a scout over further into Eiru's lands to figure out what's happening. We have one already, but we might as well get as much info as we can. A lot of temples in Eiru's lands. They built a lot of temples here. That'll explain why the Dominion is pushing so much against ours. So we'll need to do something about that as well. Other than that, things are going pretty well. We're building our palisade here. Let's make sure as well that we're just going to build up a nice little temple here. We have a laboratory. We'll build a temple. We should have this palisade done in 4 months. We've got our pretender here, so he should be absolutely fine in terms of what he's doing. We'll probably get him to teleport down over here to the first forest in a second. There is a large Asphodel army that's currently sieging down one of the last strongholds of Pyrene. They seem to be getting pretty destroyed in this war that they're having together. So I think this will be the end of Pyrene, unfortunately, unless they manage to stay alive underneath the ground. Or, not underneath the ground. Well, they do actually have holdings underneath the grounds, but under the water and under the ground here. Over here, we do actually have John dying. He's preparing to take out these cavemen over here in the Mun. And then after that, we'll probably require some additional forces to come and alleviate his issues. He came down here with quite a fair amount of Nidbay and some other forces, and there's not that many of them left. So we'll just have to see how they do. Other than that, we've also got Boulderborn coming down. He's got his massive amount of troglodytes. We could potentially take out these Berktrides, but I don't think we quite have the numbers now, only 19. They should hopefully be quite useful against the cavemen. They'll be able to take a hit and also do quite a good bit of damage due to their lack of armor. Let's maybe send Solve over here to the Red Mines. He can search that. We also need to search the Brass Throne at some point, but we can do that later on. And we do actually have these two here who are going around site searching, so maybe actually instead of him, they'll be able to site search there eventually. We'll move down to Ulm, and we'll start constructing ourselves another temple and laboratory. Speaking of which, we're currently getting apprentices over here. Very, very nice. Good stuff. Let's make sure as well that we're just recruiting a couple more troops. We'll probably get a couple of Bear Clan if we can. Yeah, that'll have to do. A couple of Bear Clan, they'll be able to help out in actually attacking and just doing a good bit of damage to these cavemen, and that should be fine. Over here, we're still currently site searching, so yeah, let's get Grodvinter over to here. We'll get Vladimir Gluten to move up to Cliffport. And we'll probably just move over to Cavemen, just so we can make sure that we still have a good amount of scouts around the area. Over here for this army, I do kind of want to get the unrest down, but I do also want to start sending them up north. So what I might do is I might tell the guys with troops, it's just all these random guys here, hey, you guys all start heading towards this fort. In this fort, we're getting more Bear Tribe, fantastic. We'll be able to get a couple more of them as well, and we'll make sure we're getting some apprentices, just to keep our research skyrocketing. We'll get them to move over there. We'll get 1, 2... We don't have a Bear Clan here, that's fine, so we'll just get these guys to move on with them further up into here, and that should be absolutely fine. Let's have a little look. We've got Harold here. We'll make sure he's site searching. We've got a random commander. We'll maybe send them over to Nidgard. Or, sorry, not Nidgard, Nidavangr. How did I say Nidgard? I don't know. I've been playing something recently with Nidgard in it. That might be what it is. Having a little look at our other recruitment in the Hexwoods. We're still recruiting our apprentices. Very nice. Let's make sure that we're definitely getting our Crow clan. We are indeed. A couple more Nidbathed. We don't have many Nidbathed here. Well, I mean, we've got a fair amount, to be fair. If we're able to pick them up, bring them up towards the front line, or even potentially down to John Dying, that could be very, very useful. Let's make sure as well that we're going to search over here with Domaldi. And we have a bunch of Bear Clan here as well. Let's start getting them to change their shape and start heading up towards Gifa, which they'll get to next turn. Fantastic. Maybe even send just a couple more of them. We don't need them researching. We want them on the front lines able to help. Brielf, what do you have with you? You have a bunch of Nidbathed. That'll be fantastic. We'll grab a bunch of Blenders as well, and we'll grab the Solitary Archer. And we'll get you to start moving up as well. For this army here, we will probably take these guys off Gutthorn, put them on Bov. And we'll get Bov to start moving towards Gifa, which he'll be able to get to this turn. Gutthorn can search, and he should be able to reinforce as well. And hopefully help us out just a little bit. Other than that, we have our scout here, who cannot quite make it over there, so he'll move up to Gifa, we'll move him to Lomark. And that should be fine. We'll maybe move this guy into the Windswept Desert. And we have our scout here, which leads us out into Asphodel. Doesn't look like there's any other provinces down here that we can scout, so we'll start sending them over towards Underhome just so we can get a better idea of what's there. Cheddar, you have been site searching. We haven't checked here in Murius, so we'll go check over there. We'll maybe even potentially build a temple over there, we'll have to see. And other than that, we have a couple of guys in the Oaklands, just, you know, not being particularly happy. I'm wondering if we maybe send some of these guys as well, if we get them to change their shape, and we can potentially get them to head up to Gifa as well, just to come and assist us. The other option that we have is, of course, to send up a couple of our Crow clan as well. That could be a good idea. How are we doing for our research? So we're getting Evocation 6 next turn. And then at Evocation 6, we do get Blast of Unlife, which could be very useful taking that throne. I mean, specifically, we would like something like Wind of Death or Cloud of Death, just to really help us. Problem with Wind of Death is we'll probably hurt our own troops quite a bit with that. So that's something to think about as well. But overall, yeah, I think maybe just sending out Barry here. We'll get Barry here. He'll send over to Gifa. He'll flap over as a Crow. We'll maybe send some more Crow clan over there. Now that we're building a lab and a temple here, we can use this as a staging ground to then move into Eiru as well. Over here in the Bog of Beasts, you know what, this hasn't been searched for nature, so let's do that just now. Hasn't been searched for nature or earth, so we'll do that. And these guys here, we'll just get them to start moving up towards Nidavangr as well. We have a bunch of lizard shamans who could be potentially useful if we wanted to start to mobilize them, just so we have a little bit more of communion chaff to use with our Crow clan mages. So I think in that respect, yeah, we'll just actually start moving them up to Nidavangr so that they're able, more of a central location in order to help us out in future conquests. Other than that, we had Ragnar. He was building some stuff. I think we'll actually just get him on Boots and the Messenger duty if possible. He's got a hammer, so he's able to just smack that on out. So pretty good for us. Bone Meal, when he gets a second, we'll get him to build Earth Boots so our other guys can build Earth Boots as well. And we'll just double check our, well, first of all, our Pretender, so we know that this guy's been defeated. We've got a Nap 3 with these guys here, but Eiru's apprehensive to us, Asphodel's apprehensive to us. We still haven't really seen Atlantis very much. We know they're about. In fact, we can see one of the provinces over here. But it seems to be that the big players of the world are us and Asphodel, which kind of makes me just a little bit apprehensive. That's not the right magical item thing here. So we have one Boots of the Messenger. We've got Thistle Mace, we've got a Rune Smasher, we've got a Coin of Meteoric Iron as well, just to help boost up our Astral Great. We could potentially actually give that to one of these guys here, just to hold on to, not the Dowsing Rod, please. Thank you very much. You're sitting here researching. We haven't quite got the level for Starshine Caps, but something like a Crown of Command could be quite good to give to some of our other dudes. It's certainly something to think about. Yeah, I think we will actually. We'll give a Crown of Command. We can give that to one of our Jarls who's moving about, just so you can command some more troops and give them a little bit extra morale. Other than that, that seems to be all of our moves for this go. So yeah, we'll just have John Dying preach. We kind of want to try and see if our Dominion's going to push into here. That'd be great if it did. I don't think it will. But we'll just have to see. I think with the reinforcing Zots coming over here as well, we should be alright. Yeah. It's going to be tight. and it's quite a lot of cavemen. They do a lot of damage, but hopefully our Nidbathe will be able to just chop through them. Lickety split. Yes, I think we're quite happy with that, so let's end the turn there. Okay, right, a lot of stuff happened. So we've finished our research and evocation, we've claimed the throne, we've cast Dark Knowledge twice, no magical sites found, that's a shame. Wolf Clan has found 2 of them, good job Hermond. Stray Wild and Hidden Forest, that sounds like a couple of nature sites. Other than that, we were searching for a bunch of other places, we haven't found anything. We've managed to capture a decent number of blood slaves, that's really, really nice actually. Enjoy that. Unexpected event happened, the Range of Light, disease spreading, and a large group of people started to worship a false pretender. Annoying worldwide event. A dark rent has appeared in the sky. Drain +2, misfortune +1. And a sneaking enemy was discovered. So that's a Firbolg champion up in Giffa. Good job, good job. And we've killed a bunch of the filthy brigands around us as well. Okay, so there was an Eiru scout here, so they have noticed that we're kind of building up here. As far as our forces go, part of me does wonder if we wait. Yeah, we can really reinforce this in only 2 turns. So we can, yeah, I think we hold off until we have another reinforcing army, and then after that we march from Giffa into Lowmark. Let's have a little look at what we can recruit. I think actually getting a couple of these archers is probably a good idea. It's probably the best way we can use our resources just now. Other than that, we're going to make sure that we're site searching. Harrick, you can probably change shape now and head over to Giffa. You won't quite make it this turn, but you can probably make it to Lowmark the next again. And as for Bone Meal Bathwater, we'll make sure that we're just going to teleport you, and we want to teleport you to the first forest, like so. And then over here, so this is where we managed to find a couple more nature sites. That's fantastic. I think over here we'll get Herman to construct a lab, just so we're then able to teleport our pretender out. And that should be good for us. Over here we've got our large force, and we'll continue just to head on up this way. Over here, Gutthorn, we'll get you to build another temple over here. We want to try and push out the dominion of Eiru as much as we can over here. So yeah, if you build a temple, then you'll be able to help us later on. Other than that, we'll also make sure that we've got our wolf clan coming as well. Get them to change shape into their wolves. They can sneak alongside. And for Logi yourself, I think we pretty much searched everywhere, but not quite. So we'll get you to the Glistening Wood over here, just to research there as well. And that should be pretty good. Let's double check our recruitment. So yeah, we're getting more Nidbathe now. We should have our lady coming over here to pick them up, just to get them to reinforce our troops. And that should be absolutely fine. And our palisade is going to be done in 3 months. Excellent. While we're waiting here, I'll just get everybody who's kind of sitting about just to research if they can. We'll get Bove to patrol, and we'll make sure as well that we're sending out our scouts further into Eiru. That's a lot of griffins from Eiru, that's something to keep in mind. But I'm overall not too worried about them. They seem to have another fort over here in the Larian Swamps, but I think we can deal with that fairly easily. And another small fortification here in Ironport. I think we should be able to take them over fairly easily, especially once we get our second army, and especially if we can open up a front over here in Melma. Speaking of that, now that I'm looking at where we're actually going at, yeah, we can't really get around it, so we'll have to go probably Hobrithia into the Bountiful Land. A little bit of a shame, but it's just the way that the map movement works sometimes. Other than that, yeah, we'll just keep moving our scouts about. We have down here over by this throne, so we'll search there just quickly. Having a look at our commanders here, so we'll get a couple more of these Bear Clan. We'll put that on this lovely lady here, and they'll just be able to run up front. We'll make sure that our Nidbathe are up front. We've got our archers behind. We're going to have our Zots on hold and probably attack rear, just to see if we can snipe their commander. And we will put in a bunch of those Javelineers into our group with our Nidbathe, just to hopefully take a couple of hits for them while our guys do the damage. And we'll get our guys to stay behind troops. We'll make sure John Dying is up near the front so he can get off his blessings. And in fact, now that he is our very good prophet, we can just get him to do a divine blessing. We'll get him to do a couple of sermons of courage, probably Holy Avenger himself, and then mark on in. We'll maybe even do a syllable of death as well. He can just advance and cast spells after that rather than just attacking closest, now that he actually has some spells. Okay, so we'll have to see how we do against those cavemen. How are we doing over here? We're still site searching. Yep, we'll keep on moving down. We've got our first apprentice up. Fantastic. All good things happening underground. Yet another place for our income, which we're using a lot of. We're up to 6,000 income, but we're still using quite a bit of it. We have a good amount of magical gems as well. Part of me is wondering if we can use one of our guys here to summon anything interesting. Potentially summoning some ice drakes could be quite useful, just because we'll get just the one ice drake, but just getting ice drakes is quite nice. Otherwise, these vile waters, gelatinous cubes, could also be an idea for us to do as well. Yeah, part of me is wondering about that. I think we maybe just hold on to our gems for just now, because we can maybe contact naids, go further down into water. We'd really like to get some glamour paths. Glamour is definitely one of those magical paths that I'm really enjoying at the moment. It does seem to be very, very good. We've got our troops moving out over here. We've got more of our guys researching. We'll get Ixano to research as well. And bearing in mind, we'll actually give Harut this crown. So now he has inspirational. +1, he can lead actually quite a lot of men by himself. And that should hopefully help us out a little bit. Over here, I did set a lot of these guys to just research, but we'll just make sure there's nothing interesting that we can make. Some girdles and might could be useful for some of our spellcasters. Additionally, amulet of resistances. We have a lot of nature magic, but I think we'll just stick to a couple of homunculi for the moment. And that should be a-okay. Over here, Sigmund, you're forging sanguine rods. Let's have a little look and see what we can summon in conjuration. We do kind of need to get a little bit further at conjuration. Banelords are a potential option for us in order to summon. So let's have a little look at our research. We're getting evocation 7, not next turn, but probably the next again. And then we're going up conjuration. Yeah, I think going up conjuration is probably the best idea for us just now. We did get another sanguine rod, so let's make sure that all of our blood hunters have one. They do not, so yeah, we'll give you a sanguine rod. And we can potentially even send out another blood hunter somewhere. Potentially Sigmund yourself. Are you twice-born? You are not. We'll get you to stop crafting them for just now. We'll get you to twice-born yourself, and then you can fly off and you can start blood hunting as well. Speaking of blood hunting, our white mage, we could give our boots to the messenger to massively increase their map move, and we could actually start sending them up towards Giffa, where hopefully they'll be able to get there next turn, and that should be good for us. Rodvinter will make sure you're searching. Cheddar will make sure you're searching. We've got our scout over here. I kind of want to see if there's a battle in the Darkwoods, because that does seem like a very terrifying... Yeah, that's almost 2,000 of Asphodel's forces. Mostly mannequins, but still very, very scary to come up against. Vladimir Gluten, we're kind of keeping you near the front. That should be fine. Yep, you're gone. We'll get you to hide and wait there as well. Make sure that we're sending all of our guys over as well. And we've searched there. We still need to search over here. So we'll send Harald down to Askapeni. And that should be all good. And other than that, that is all of our movement. Let's have a double check of our recruitment. Recruiting anybody in Nabah? No. So let's get some more Ceaseparender's apprentices. We could start recruiting some Jade Maidens as well. They'll be able to take our Bless. I think that's probably a good shout, actually. Seeing as we may as well. We can recruit quite a few. We still got good recruitment points here in Nabah. They did lose a little bit of population, which is a little bit of a shame. That's just because of their dominion. But we should be able to use the majority of that population. If we can get more sacreds, especially cavalry sacreds, then that's a really good shout for us. Alrighty, and I think with that, that is us all done. We've used up pretty much all of our treasury. We're kind of doing all of our moves. We're alright for research. Yep, I think we're okay for just now. And we'll have a good think about how we're going to script up our guys to take out this throne next time. And hopefully John Dying is able to take another one as well. Okay, so we've cast Twiceborn, we've cast Dark Knowledge, nothing happened there, nothing happened there. We cast Teleport, we found a magical site, the Enchanted Gate, there's some more Astral, very, very nice. Proclamation from Atlantis. A new prophet, good to know. So we've captured a bunch of blood slaves, very happy about that, and there was a battle in Mun. Let's have a little look at this. So here's our ragtag force. It's a bunch of cavemen, but I'm hoping that with their morale, they do have a morale of 12, but hopefully we'll be able to outclass them just a little bit with our Nidbathe. They're going to take a couple of big hits. Our Zots are coming down, kind of splitting them up slightly, which is good. This is their commander here right at the back. If we can take him out, Zots, that'd be fantastic, but you're going to focus on those troops instead. Our Nidbathe are here. They're blood surged up. They're going to start smacking away. They are getting a little bit surrounded, but I'm hoping that through our attack density we should be okay. They're going to start coming through. And here we have John Dying coming up as well. He's just advancing and casting spells. We are starting to chop through their numbers, but we are losing a fair amount of Nidbathe in the process. These big hits are hitting us pretty hard. Let's speed on up, speed on up. Come on, guys. You're clearing them out. And the independent armies are routed. We did take a lot of losses there, but that was a lot of cavemen to fight. And at the end of the day, we did it. Good job. How many did we lose there? So we actually lost 11 of our 21 Nidbathe. So over half of our force there, but they did kill 66 cavemen. These guys, Their stats, they don't look too impressive. Really bad protection. We didn't have enough archers to really capitalize on that. But their strength, oh boy, they hit hard. They do hit hard. But the main thing is we managed to take the province. There was also a battle in the Darkwood, so let's have a little look at that. What's happening here in the Darkwood? So this is Asphodel's absolutely monstrous force of just the undead. And over here we have the forces of Pyrene, who are not going to be long for this world, unfortunately. It's a little bit of a shame, but yeah, they're not going to be long for this world. It looks like Asphodel is taking a bit of casualties just due to the blockage. They're not really be able to bring their full force to bear. With a little bit of magic and their constructs getting on top of the walls, yeah, the army of Pyrene had no chance. So they attacked them and won. They lost 67 of their 12,000-ish troops. So good to know. There was also a unexpected event in the Range of Light. We got some gold from disease victims. We had a little bit of unrest and less tax. There was a battle in Bara. Special monsters attacking Eiru, so they're getting barbarian attack. These guys just really cannot catch a break, can they? So here come the barbarians. They're going to come in. They're going to absolutely smash this PD. Yeah, there we go. Wasn't even a question. Boom. There we go. Bara's gone. Now would be the time to swoop on in and take it, I think, now that it's been taken by the barbarians. But we'll have to see. Let's do the important things first before we go on. Let's make sure we got bone meal bathwater, claiming this throne of ascension, ready, get another throne, and the same thing here with John dying. What did we get? Throne of Night. Blessed troops get dark vision. That's actually not too bad. That's going to be really helpful for our Nidbay fighting down here. Yeah, I actually quite like that. Alright, cool. Oh well, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of our Middle-aged Nidavangr playthrough. Getting a couple more thrones, we're doing pretty well, we're spreading out our dominion. We're definitely within the top 3, I think, in terms of power, probably in the top 2. We need to see more about Atlantis in order to find that out. Asphodel's going to be the main issue, unfortunately. But hey-ho, what's a world-ending threat to have as a good enemy? But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to become one of our commanders, please leave a comment down below and we'll get you in for the next one. And if you want to consider helping the channel, consider joining the Burger Band for early access to videos and a couple other benefits. Anyway, just want to say thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care.